Dear friends, welcome to this journey that tells about 1st century Tamil land based on the periplus of the Erythraean Sea. This presentation is based on the book named Travel and Trade in the Indian Ocean by a merchant of the 1st century by Wilfred H. Scoff. Today, we will see what Periplus says about the international trade of ancient Tamil kingdom in 2 points out of 66 points and the notes of Wilfred for these 2 points. Point 55. There is another place at the mouth of this river, the village of Bakare, to which ships drop down on the outward voyage from Nelsinda and anchor in the roadstead to take on their cargoes. Because the river is full of shoals and the channels are not clear, the kings of both these market towns live in the interior. Point 56. They send large ships to these market towns on account of the great quantity and bulk of pepper and malabadram. There are imported here in the first place a great quantity of coin, topaz, thin clothing not much, figured linens, antimony, coral, crude glass, copper, tin, lead, wine not much, but as much as at Bargaiza, Realgar and Orpiment, and wheat enough for the sailors, for this is not dealt in by the merchants there. There is exported pepper which is produced in quantity in only one region near these markets, a district called Kotanara. Besides this, there are exported great quantities of fine pearls, ivory, silk cloth, spikenard from the Ganges, malabadram from the places in the interior, transparent stones of all kinds, diamonds and sapphires, and tortoise shell. That from Chryse Island, and that taken among the islands along the coast of Damarika. They make the voyage to this place in a favorable season, who set out from Egypt about the month of July, that is FEP. Wilfred in his notes tells about this international trade. A generation before the Periplus in 22 AD, this was made the subject of a letter from the Emperor Tiberius to the Roman Senate. If a reform is in truth intended, where must it begin? And how am I to restore the simplicity of ancient times? How shall we reform the taste for dress? How are we to deal with the peculiar articles of feminine vanity, and in particular with that rage of jewels and precious trinkets, which drains the empire of its wealth and sends, in exchange for baubles, the money of the commonwealth to foreign nations and even to the enemies of Rome? This extravagant importation of luxuries from the East without adequate production of commodities to offer in exchange was the main cause of the successive depreciation and degradation of the Roman currency, leading finally to its total repudiation. In the Madras Government Museum, there is nearly a complete series of the coins of the Roman emperors during the period of active trade with India, all of them excavated in southern India. A notable fact is that there are 2 distinct breaks in the series, which may of course be supplied by later discovery, but which seem to indicate a cessation of trade due to political turmoil in Rome. The coins of Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius and Nero are numerous. I will end this video with all the suggested names for all the places mentioned by Periplus. With these details about trade activities and Roman coins from the book on Erythraean Sea, I will meet you all with what this merchant had told about pepper trade of 1st century Tamil land in my next video. Until then, thank you for your support.